What's good with y'all boys, man? It's B Man Reacts! I had to bring back the whole intro. You feel me? I still got it in me to do it here and there. Anyways, without a further ado, we're gonna get straight to the video. This is another video by Tommy NFG and it's called the Sassy Man Era. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm already feeling like I know what topics it's gonna be touched up upon. So, without a further ado, let's get into the video. And I know I'm gonna have a lot to say.
As a man, according to the internet's new rules, you officially get categorized as two groups nowadays. You're either group A.
Don't forget.
Yup, alpha male. Pick up the red pill.
Invincible.
Or as they call it, toxic masculinity.
You're either
Woke
group
propaganda.
Alright guys, on 3 we're gonna take a boomerang. We're gonna shake our bottles, okay? So 1, 2, 3.
You stupid, bro.
And I speak for all men when I say we only classify as these and it's impossible to fit another category. Anyways, y'all, the talk of the interweb for the past couple of years has been that men are getting quote unquote soft. But it's been really ramping up from last year to now when people have been talking more about it. And a majority of the time, the main people saying this are men online, obviously. Whether it just be a comment on a post, an alpha male podcaster saying humanity is falling because of it. But another category of people that I also haven't seen mentioned that say it too is women online. I always have to say this because people are sped. Not all women are like that and say men need to be more manly and less sassy online. But usually the people I see mentioned that say it are the alpha gurus and male podcasters. And I don't usually see women mentioned in the conversation about it. They have another name for it too. They call it the quote-unquote sassy man apocalypse. And how it works is it'll be a man posting something on TikTok of them doing a more feminine-like activity. Could be something like doing Pilates. And before someone's like, huh, well, Tommy, those are perfectly normal activities that any gender can— Shut up! Calm your ass down. This ain't a Twitter comment section. We all know anyone can do these activities. Like, I don't have to explain when I say a feminine activity. And whenever a man posts him doing one of these activities, you'll at least get a couple of people in the comments saying, why is he acting so zesty or sassy? And it don't even gotta be something crazy for real.
Or
Like, a man can
homo.
record himself and be drinking matcha in the video. And you'll have some people in the comments like, yo, bro, that's a little zesty. Why are you getting matcha and not pure black coffee? What am I gonna do with all these sassy men around? Like, why are you drinking the girly drinks? As a man on the internet, if you post you doing something like that, you really won't win. If you post you doing something slightly perceived as a feminine thing, you'll get hate from men and women. And I think this whole thing
Even
stems
more so
from
by the
older
women.
generations. Since Gen Z and before was raised by older generations that usually followed the traditional ways, a lot of us have carried these ways to our adulthoods. And you can pick out the good and bad between the things that we were taught compared to now.
bad
I'm
if
not
y'all
here to
hear
be
my
a
hair
therapist and get everyone's
I got my
perspective on how that
hair on the
lifestyle's
twist
affected
out
them
right
for
now.
good or bad. There's traditional things that work for some people and some don't. Simple as that. But there's definitely things we can all universally agree on that they
Yeah,
were
certain
low-key
things is
tripping over
kinda—
as men back in the day. Looking back
real.
at it, I couldn't live as a man like 20 to 30 years ago. Because you had to be boring as and fit in or your ass was gonna get flamed. A good example
much.
is like wearing pink. Back then, would not dare to touch the color pink because they
Real. If back in the day, even when I was growing up in the 2000s, I'm a Gen Z baby. But if you wore pink or purple, you was homo. Actually, I don't care. I'm unfiltered. Gay. You were gay if you wore pink or purple. The only time a nigga could be seen wearing pink is if it was breast cancer awareness month. Other than that, out of the 11 months of the year, if you wore pink, nigga, you gay.
knew if they did, they would probably get roasted by their friends or their family would think they're zesty. Shoot, up until my elementary school years, we still had that mindset. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't really change. And even something like skincare. Bro, you couldn't even take care of your skin without a potentially giving you the gay allegations. Men low-key lived like cavemen back then. A lot of the fashion we wear too nowadays, they would think is zesty back then. You couldn't even put that on without getting the allegations.
I ain't gonna lie, some of the outfits that some of these fashion niggas wear, I do be thinking they're gay in my head. I'm like, nigga, you gay.
Like, it was just crazy. And I think the good thing about our generation is we're saying basic like, you can actually dress good and wash your face can happen without you getting the zesty allegations or
there's nothing gay about washing your face,
but
though.
clearly some
You niggas
people
is
are
just
still
nasty.
entrenched into that old mindset. You got people like FitX Fearless, who I'm sure some of y'all have heard of, but if you don't know, he's another one of those alpha gurus who has his own course on how to become rich and handsome, and people actually pay to get advice on how to improve their looks from him.
Like these girls, they want Duke Dennis, they don't want me. It's not fair.
Oh, shut the hell up.
They want the jewelry, the rich guy, they want everything. They don't want a regular Joe.
He built himself. Ain't nobody gave that dude shit. He built himself. You motherfucker get every dude at the finish line and be like, oh, why do women want him? Because he tried.
And he's one of those people I feel like that holds a traditional mindset from the past completely. Because he's always complaining about the new generation and the styles people are rocking.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, that specific clip, he isn't lying though. Although that nigga was kind of chopped, but he isn't necessarily lying per se. He had to build himself up for that. Certain things you gotta build yourself up. Like sometimes if you're a ugly nigga, sometimes you can be an ugly nigga because you're fat or overweight. So you may have to work out and slim down. You'll be amazed by how people really aren't ugly once they lose the fat. Like when they lose the fat, they face look better, the jawline comes out more, their body looks chiseled more, and is more appealing to the eye for a lot of people. So to a degree, he isn't lying. Which honestly, even though the alpha male gurus, a lot of them be spewing nonsense and BS, but some of the shit they be saying is true. I ain't gonna lie. A broken clock can be right twice a day, and with every lie there is a little bit of truth, and not everything is bad. And a lot of people could always use improvement. So him saying all you have to do is improve yourself and stuff like that, he isn't really lying. Just lock in.
Now, like, he just hates any man that wears something baggy and thinks it looks childish. And he has
I know,
multiple
baggy
videos
shit
of
is
him saying
nasty,
it makes
gang.
you look homeless and dumb.
I'm gonna keep telling y'all dress like little kids. I don't care what anybody say, bro. The classy man is always the best looking man. Nobody could beat that guy. I don't give a damn what you say, bro. I don't give a damn about no new trends, this baggy clothes bullshit that you idiots think.
I actually
look
think
cool.
some of
You
the baggy
don't look
clothes is
like a man.
bullshit.
I don't give a damn what you think. Stop wearing baggy clothes. They make you look homeless. The losers on the internet want you to believe that a guy who dressed classy, a guy who wears fitted clothes, something is wrong with him. Not the guy who looks homeless and wears baggy clothes that is quote unquote comfortable. The problem with this is you don't command respect with your image.
I'm sorry, bro, but I'm not trying to look like The Rock from the 90s every time I step out the house. Or dress like I'm going to a wedding every day. Some occasions deserve the fitted clothes and some deserve the baggy clothes. That's all it is. Because fashion has always been the one thing that's
Hold on, I had to
and
play this
some deserve
back.
the baggy.
Like this shit to me, a lot of y'all is gonna say it's drip, but to me this shit looks corny. Tim's for no reason, baggy ass pants and a kind of big oversized jacket. No, that shit is nasty. This nigga, I don't fuck with the shirt already. Baggy ass pants, you can barely see the shoes. I like my shoes to eat the pants, not the pants to eat the shoes. Meaning, I like my pants fitted per se. I like them more fitted for myself. Now, obviously, some people do fit these type of aesthetics. Me personally, I dress like a regular nigga. I don't dress aesthetically pleasing with this baggy shit. So if it's a nice little fitted pants or something like that, or a nice size shirt. Now sometimes I may every blue moon get like a nice oversized hoodie or something like that that's a size up from me, just because, or I do it by accident because it's a loose fit or something like that. But I can still pull it off. But my style and aesthetic isn't the new gen clothing of doing this. I like my stuff basic and nice looking. You got to try to look good in what looks good for you specifically. Some people can pull this off, but I think a lot of people can, and they just be doing that shit just for the fuck's sake of it.
Baggy clothes, that's all it is. Because fashion has always been the one thing that's progressed and changed depending on its time. So why would you want to stay one style forever without trying different things? If people treated fashion like his thinking forever, then we'd still be wearing those 1800s outfits. This is the type of thinking older generations still have though. Like, he low-key gives me the vibes of what a woman in her 50s would dream as their one-night stand. Universally with fashion though, I think we've all been way more open to changing up things in our generation. I mean, in 2017, we're dressing like this and we realized, all right, we gotta change the design. But then you go out actually putting that on and you're gonna have some older family member side-eyeing you, thinking you might swing the other way because you wanted to dress nice. A thing you'll hear some women say online is the phrase, men used to go to war. And it's used as an insult online, usually when it's a man doing something perceived more feminine. When I say perceived more feminine too, it really doesn't even have to be that. It could just be him doing something fun. It's to the point where some of them will literally record random men in public to make fun of them for it.
Nowadays. Like, look! What if he was in school? This looks like it might be a school or cafe. What if he was doing schoolwork or doing something productive on his computer? He wanted a nice little cup of coffee. Me personally, I don't like coffee. I don't fuck with the taste or nothing like that. But there's nothing wrong with this. Niggas can't be chilling. This is what I mean. It's really a double standard, honestly. But Niggas can't do shit nowadays. Niggas can't drink coffee. Niggas can't go to a coffee spot. Niggas can't go out to eat. Niggas can't go to the movies. Niggas can't do shit without it being called gay, sassy, feminine, or you used to go to war. Now look at this, bro. Let him be great and do his own thing. He could be doing anything. He could be doing schoolwork or anything. You just going out and doing this. And another thing, you just recording this nigga randomly. This is what I mean when I say our generation is lost. Man used to go to work, now they're taking photos on the stair. Niggas can't take photos either.
Like, all bro did in the first video was drink a frappe he bought with his hard-earned money. And all they did in the other was take a picture at a staircase. And by the way, there's a more than 100% chance men built those stairs. So I'd be damned as a man if I can't take pictures of something I build. I'll take a million pictures if I want to. The whole men used to go to war thing doesn't make sense to me because, for one, millions of men still do go to war all over the world. Like, do you not read the news or something? There's about a war started every week nowadays. And for the men at war in the past, do you think they actually wanted to be there? Men had zero choice but
and
to
we
be
still
in the
don't
war.
have a
They
choice
would
now. If a war
draft
got
your
so
name
bad,
out
we
of
get
hat and you had to
drafted.
be in the field, or your ass was getting sent to prison to eternally be a named Bubba's prison wife. Also, there's a lot of countries where men around the world are still required to be in the military. Like in South Korea, BTS had to stop for a while because some of the members had to do their mandatory military service. And this type of president to me probably isn't the best thing to set, because if y'all really do want it to go back to men fighting in wars and stuff, as a man, as soon as you turn 18, you're getting sent on your way to serve your duties. Then be prepared as a woman. If you don't cook for your husband one day, you and the children got a 50% chance of getting beat that night. Because that's what the older generations of men did. Like, I really don't think you want to be in that generation. And then you go in the comment sections of these videos, and it's women saying things like, men are so princessy now, or so many princesses. I also get confused by this too, because isn't it mainly women saying men need to be more tapped in their emotions? Like, for decades, the complaint has always been that men are so emotionless and never like to express themselves. And that definitely is true a lot of times. You try to talk to any man over 60 about mental health or therapy, and they go, mental health? My mental health was working 128-hour work weeks at 10 years old and walking 5 miles to school after, and then walking 5 miles back to finish the day. Then going on my grandpa's boat and fishing 5 fish a day for the entire family to eat. Mental health is something you made up after the 2000s. That was my impression of a blue-collar worker. Then when men nowadays actually try to express themselves, we're sassy and princesses? This just shows me that a lot of y'all saying this will say one thing online, then act completely different when it comes to actual situations. Now, I obviously don't think all the women saying men used to go to war are
some
serious.
of them are just saying it. A lot of them are just saying it as a joke.
Where it's so many people saying it, everyone can't be joking about it. I didn't realize this until I grew up, but in our generation, there's still a ton of women that want to live that more traditional lifestyle. Because all you would see on ads and online for years, it was all about independence for women and living that lifestyle. Which, if it works for you, that's amazing. You know, I don't got no complaints. But then as I grew up and would ask the women around in my life what they wanted for the future, you know, when I became college age and everybody's trying to figure out what they want to do with their life, I would hear a surprising amount of them saying the more traditional thing and maybe working a side job just so they're not bored. Nothing wrong with that either. Should I know in the future for me, I'm gonna provide the best I can for whoever I'm with. As long as the relationship is healthy, it really shouldn't concern anyone. Then a couple of years ago, that thing blew up on TikTok called Trad Wives, where it's pretty much women talking about their traditional lifestyle and what they live like. Can this lifestyle turn into a toxic thing? Yes. Definitely. But that's why you have to have a group of good people around you to tell you when it may be turning into that. You know, it can turn real quick from happily married with kids and living your dream lifestyle to you overcooking the chicken one day and getting RKO'd on the dining room table. I think there is a correlation with this type of lifestyle starting.
A nigga be like, bitch, you fucked up my chicken. Gonna be on that one episode of Boondocks where Uncle Ruckus' dad was beating on his mama. Ooh, hey man, it is what it is, honestly. If that's what the type of life you want to live, a traditional life, go for it. If you want to live in a woke life, go for it. If you want to live in a modern life, go for it. If you, whatever you want to do, man. At this point, it's just life. We all living. It is what it is.
To trend more and more, and you know, men getting called sassy and zesty and online. You know, this is just my view, but I wasn't really seeing this ramp up like this until recently. People be forgetting there's a large amount of women who also have the traditional mindset of thinking too. Anyways, to wrap everything up, as a man, you shouldn't be crashing out and angry over your girl asking you if you want to get a pedicure with her, and be worried you're gonna get perceived as sassy online if people see it. Maybe it's just the name. If they called it a manly feet cleaning, I wonder if more men would be open to doing it. Like, it's fine to take care of your skin and make sure you're looking right. And you can do all this while also doing the traditional, more manly stuff, like locking in with the gym and lifting and providing for whoever you're with in life. I could just never take it serious if another person is trying to call me sassy online because of something. So yeah, let me know what y'all think.
Yeah, honestly, if you calling a nigga sassy for living basic life and doing basic necessities, you kind of reaching at that point. Cause then, by that logic, if a girl says, "Oh, I remember when men used to go to war," a nigga can say, "And I remember when women used to shut up and be in the kitchen." Like it goes both ways. It can really go both ways and fuck each other up. And in all honesty, we gotta let it go. Now, if y'all just joking or whatever on the media, yeah, go for it. But a lot of people don't be joking; they be dead ass. And a lot of people like a traditional life in a home culture, in a like I said, a traditional life or a conservative life space or whatever works for y'all. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, do I really care what other people do in their life? No, not really. But obviously, there's a right way of doing things, and then there's a wrong way of doing things. But to each his own, honestly. And it is what it is. I can't stress that enough. But if that's how it works for y'all, that's how it works. But that's pretty much the end of the video. Hopefully this video wasn't too long because I don't know how long the videos be. So when I watch afterwards, because when I watch these videos afterwards, I'll be like, damn, I was talking that long. I call it the 20-minute curse. So anyways, I won't keep this video going any longer. This was another Tommy video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Remember, we turning up this year. But that's all. I'm out.